Under 40 CEOs. Drive your ambition. Brought to you by Mitsubishi. Olubankole Wellington, known by the stage name Banky W and credited in film as Banky Wellington, is a Nigerian singer, rapper, and actor. Banky was born in the United States to Nigerian parents. His family moved back to Nigeria when he was 5 years old. He schooled in Lagos for his primary and secondary education and returned to further his tertiary education at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, New York on a scholarship. He started his company, E.M.E, in 2002 while still studying. After moving to Nigeria in 2009, he established his company in Lagos, Nigeria. Banky Wellington is the CEO at Empire Mate Entertainment, E.M.E. All right, thank you for taking this ride with me, Banky.
My pleasure, sir. Eyes on the road, eyes on the road, eyes on the road.
Always.
Yeah, focus.
All right, talking about focus, how did you get focused on this, entrepreneurial journey of yours? How did you get started?
How I got started, well, the people that I've kind of looked up to globally in societies around the world, the people that I tried to watch were entrepreneurs. I was always, from the music side, it was always people like Jay-Z, it was Diddy, it was Dr. Dre, it was the guys who took music and did so much more with it. Like the guys that I just named are always in the top 5 or top 10 earners in the music business, but very little of that is actually from record sales. It's from them being entrepreneurial enough to say, okay, this thing was given to me as a platform, what else can I do? So those are the guys that I looked up to. I studied everything that they did, and I tried to pattern myself because those are the people that I wanted to be like. So for me, it was never about, I just want to be a music star, I want to be a musician. It was about, okay, I'm going to use music to get in the door, but once I get in the door, what else can I do? Can I set up a label to help other people achieve their musical dreams? Can I branch off from music into filmmaking? Can I get into advertising? Can I get into marketing? Can I get into the food business now, which I am in? That was kind of the way that I'd always imagined myself being. So I'm just literally chasing after the dreams that I've always had. That's pretty much my entrepreneurial story.
And I'm sure that the road must have been pretty jerky.
Like this, my office road.
But please tell me, at what point did you stabilize enough to now start to expand and scale into these other enterprises?
At what point? I don't know that I've ever gotten to the point where everything is completely like stable and stress-free. I think that's part of the entrepreneurial journey. I think most entrepreneurs, especially for people who run small and medium scale enterprises, most of us would tell you that it's very much a roller coaster. There are good times, there are bad times, there are highs, there are lows, but in the end, it's the journey that ends up being worth it. So it's not about any one destination, because once you set a goal, as you start to reach that goal, you shift the goalpost some more and you try to reach for more. So for me, I don't know that I ever really got to the point where I felt like, okay, now I'm stable. I do know that as soon as I got to the point where my music was successful, the goal immediately became reinvesting the money that I was making as an artist into building a company. For me, that's what it's about. It's about that journey of setting goals, and as you approach them, you shift the goalposts and you reach for more. Because at the end of the day, if you're not growing, you're dying. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's always about growth. It's always about expansion. It's always about doing more, giving back more, gaining more, building more, just more.
It's always about growth. It's always about expansion. But looking back now, is there that one business decision that you regret making, and what could you have done differently?
Oh man, any one business decision that I regret making? This might sound a little cliche, but I don't really believe in regrets. I believe in lessons learned. So have I had very, very rough times? Absolutely. Have I Had moments where kind of I hit my head into the wall, or I learned some pretty harsh lessons in business. Oh, unquestionably. With that being said, I don't know that I would point to any one of them as a regret, because I think you either win or you learn. And for me, it's always been a learning experience. And that's just the way that I operate.
Well, so switching gears is your thing, huh? From being an engineer.
I see what you're doing with the wordplay. Gear 1 was the engineering degree. Gear 2, musician. Gear 3, record label. Gear 4, full-on entrepreneur. I see what you're doing.
So tell me about that. How do you do it? How do you make that happen?
Switching gears. I think, it takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a tremendous amount of focus. It takes remembering where you're coming from and learning the lessons from your past, but not being a prisoner of that past and settling for that past, but to say, okay, this is my past, this is where I'm coming from, these are the lessons that I've learned, so I remember the past, but I'm focused on the future. And, in focusing on the future, you have to set specific goals, and with those goals, you have to take very specific steps to get there. So for me, like for instance, to get into filmmaking, there was a time that and you probably remember this, that I dropped everything and I went to film school for a few months, because if I wanted to do more in filmmaking, if I wanted to be an executive producer, a writer, a director, a filmmaker, even an actor, then I needed to take a break from what I was doing to focus on learning the craft. Now, obviously, I haven't learned everything there is to learn, but it at least gave me the ability to take the first couple of steps in that. And now looking back, I've starred in a few movies, I've co-executive produced 1 or 2, and there's some more in the pipeline, but again, it was from taking those specific steps to say, that's my eventual goal. What do I need to do right now to move myself closer to that goal? And that's the way that I've operated.
So we're talking about focusing on the future.
Yeah.
What's the future looking like for E.M.E?
The future for E.M.E, we're growing as an agency. We're a 360 media agency now. We're in advertising, marketing, activations, digital marketing, influencer marketing, outlet management, visibility. So we want to be the best at that, that we can be. So we're growing. We've got a few pretty high profile clients now. We've got a healthy portfolio, but can we meet and exceed our clients' expectations? Can we grow as a business? Can we get more clients? Can we have a greater impact as an agency in this space?
You're always working. How do you cool?
All the time. How do I cool off?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I love to travel, and luckily for me, my career in media and entertainment affords me the opportunity to see the world. So I try to, when I do travel, I try to tack in a couple of days aside from what I'm going for, to just kind of relax, explore cities, learn the cultures, and all of that. And then what else? I love sports. Huge Arsenal fan. In my mind, I'm a Arsenal striker.
For life.
Oh gosh, to this season we're going to pepper them.
Oh yes,
because we have pepper now. So I watch a lot of sports. I play sports. Actually, I play football twice a week with my mates. Nice. Yeah, we have a league called Empire FC. Yeah, so we play in Lekki Wednesdays and Sundays. People like E.M.E, Files, they're all actually part of the same football group. So I play sports, I watch sports, I love watching movies, I love listening to music, I love reading and writing. I love to read and I love to write. I love to hang out with my family, of course my amazing wife, and then my immediate family as well.
Amazing. I'm sure this is a difficult one for you, but what's your favorite jam at the moment?
My favorite jam at the moment? Whew, that's a tough one. I really love Tenny's song Power Rangers. I heard it a couple weeks ago and I've not been able to stop playing it since then. I really love Burna Boy's new album. I think it's great. In fact, I love that so many of our greatest talents were featured on the Gift album, the Lion King soundtrack. So I'm listening to the Lion King soundtrack. I really love the Chris Brown Drake song No Guidance. I've got that on repeat now as well. Yeah, those are some of the jams I'm listening to at the moment.
So lastly, Banky, I'd like to know, what drives your ambition?
What drives my ambition? The desire for impact, I think, is what drives me. I've always been of the mindset that, you're given, God blesses you to become a blessing. You're supposed to be a vessel to pass that on. You're supposed to impact your world. You're supposed to change your world for the better. You're supposed to, and that's, that is also why I ran for office, because I felt like, if I got there, I would be able to use the office to impact society to a great scale. But whether I got to the office or not, my intention was to run a campaign to inspire our generation. It wasn't really about, and it still isn't about the next election, it's about the next generation. So through my career, through my businesses, through my ventures, through the moves that I make, through the path that I lead, can I impact the next generation? Can I plant seeds in their minds to let them know that their dreams can come true, that they can punch above their weights, that they can reach for the stars, that they can achieve whatever it is that they set their minds to, because I'm a living testimony that it can be done. So for me, I think if I could sum it up in one word, it would be impact. That's my goal, and that's always been my goal, is to say, when it's all said and done, let it be said that he impacted the world around him for the better, and that he did it. He did a hell of a job, trying. So that's me.
Amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you once again for riding with me, man.
My pleasure, sir.
Rensselaer Motors, sole distributors of Mitsubishi Motors in Nigeria.